Hey guys, so I'm on Facebook on our local Game of Thrones group, and this interesting post came up. After 7 full seasons of Game of Thrones, give a life lesson that you've learned from the series. And we've got some good ones here. Don't fight in the north or the south, fight every battle everywhere.
2 hours later.
We're always in your mind. Yeah, Littlefinger speech. Family marriage is bad. Valar Morghulis, always have an abundance of wine. We've got a shit ton of important life lessons from this series. One of the reasons I love this show so much is because it's true to life. Listing all these lessons would take hours. I can imagine myself putting up like a 6-hour video talking about every single lesson in Game of Thrones and then, the next day waking up and then losing 40 subscribers. But something dawned on me. I figured out a lesson that's exemplified time and time again in the series that could help you guys change perspectives on your real life today. It's not one of those theoretical ones that we probably never use in real life. I doubt you're ever going to be leading an army of Northmen to fight a queen that screws her brother. But if you are, let me know. I'll make a video talking about that. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Zane, and I basically talk about Game of Thrones, gaming, music, movies, just about anything I feel like talking about, but my stuff is good, check it out. And hit the subscribe button if you can while we're at it. It'll show me that you guys like these kind of videos and I should continue posting them. I'm not going to overcomplicate this video. I think the concept I'm going to explain is very simple to grasp. In fact, it's a cliche. I don't want you guys to misunderstand this though. This is going to be a slightly different video because we mirror things to real life, but we're going to focus on two of the main characters in the show, Tyrion and Jon. It's actually been confirmed that Tyrion is one of the characters that'll never die in the series. I don't know why Jon Snow wasn't on that list. If he dies, I really think it's going to be one of the most symbolic deaths in the series, fulfilling some kind of prophecy or dying for his people or his loved ones. Whatever. But if we go back to season 1, the show had a completely different dynamic than it did today, especially for those two characters. Tyrion and Jon were, in Theon's words, the runts of the litter. When I started Game of Thrones, I never thought they'd get in a position of power that they are now in. Maybe Jon, I picture him becoming Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, but that's as far as I imagined it would go. I thought these characters were completely useless. Tyrion was fun, Jon was like that annoying character in season 1. The Starks had Ned, Robb, even Sansa and Bran. The Lannisters had Tywin, who I thought wasn't gonna go anytime soon, and Jaime. You guys notice that these characters were like the underdogs, right? They had high aspirations. Jon always wanted to be like Robb. He was even jealous of him, he said it a few times. And Tyrion always had this chip on his shoulder that pushed him to want to be the Lord of the Rock. In a way, I think this describes everybody's life. Because of the age we live in now, this digital age where we have these high standards of what we need to be when we grow up, we always have these aspirations. We want to build the next Facebook, we want to make $1 billion. It might not even be that. We might want to get into the Premier League or become the quarterback of the New York Jets. Something that always strikes me in awe is how the world we live in today mythologizes certain people. I'm gonna definitely make a video about that later on, about how, for example, Mark Zuckerberg was mythologized and created the entrepreneurship age. But the point is, there are these people, whether it's in finance, sports, media, startups, whatever it is, that we look up to so much and that we want to be. These are those high standards we live up to. I mean, I think that's because of massive storytelling efforts, social efforts, social media. I'm probably going to make a video about that later on in the future, but let me get to my point. Tyrion always wanted Casterly Rock, and Jon always wanted to be Lord of Winterfell, but they couldn't. Look how things are now in season 7. These characters are in the same, if not higher positions of power than they ever aspired themselves to be. One of them is elected King of the North, and the other one is now the appreciated hand of the Queen. The Queen being one of the most powerful characters out there. They're both power players. At the same level Tywin, Robert Baratheon, and Ned Stark were in the beginning of the series. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is a blueprint for success, and I'm not holding the answers to your life right now. But once you're self-aware about your strengths and your weaknesses, if you focus on going all in on what you're actually good at what you're strong at, and throwing away your weaknesses, it'll be unbelievably fascinating to see how things play out your way. When you actually put your strengths on the forefront of your studies, career, actions, things tend to play out your way. Now, I'm not saying don't be multidimensional, don't learn different things. Instead of you spending your time trying to perfect the stuff you're bad at, whether it's a subject at university, whether you're studying something you don't like. Tyrion and Jon always had these burdens to carry since their birth. One was a dwarf and looked down upon. The other was a bastard and looked down upon. In the time of season 1 though, each one had already fostered some sort of skill. You see Tyrion with his higher level thinking, reading books more often than not, and always cleverly getting himself out of like even fatal situations. And you see Jon, a natural leader and an exceptional fighter, as shown in his days at the Wall. So the whole point of this video isn't to bring up that cliche term, accept who you are and love yourself. I don't want to quote Justin Bieber, alright? That's not what the point is. The clip you're about to watch is about 10 seconds of Gary Vaynerchuk talking about self-awareness, just to give you an idea. He's a businessman, he's an entrepreneur, and in this age, everybody wants to become an entrepreneur. So he's discussing that and how dangerous that is.
Too many people try to be like me because it's sizzly and it's sexy and people want to be charismatic and on stage. So many of you do so many things better than I do.
I don't want to talk in circles, but each person is unique and has his or her own set of skills. Once you understand and accept who you are, your strengths and your shortcomings is the second that you reposition your life on the offense. It's the second that allows you to be great. Once you understand that, just like Tyrion and Jon Snow did, once you go all in and you bet everything all there, things will pay themselves out for you. In my opinion, that's the most important lesson you can learn from Game of Thrones, to really understand yourself, your weaknesses and your strengths, and then after that, picking your strengths and betting on them all. That's it, guys. I hope you liked this video. Tomorrow I'm going to go meet Hafthor Bjornsson, who plays Sir Gregor Clegane, the Mountain in Game of Thrones. If you have any questions you'd like me to ask, and you see this video then, just drop a comment below, or don't, and you'll see the video tomorrow. Anyways guys, have an awesome day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.